G'day Raiders family, it's Berkey here and welcome to my preview against the Cows, round 12 in Townsville tomorrow night. Um, Look, I'm a little bit worried about this game, which I'll get to in my top 10. All these types of games worry me now, particularly against sides who are just about out of the top 8 or a show for the top 8. They've got nothing to lose. And they usually like to bring guys through the ranks who really want to have a crack when they get into top grade. So the Cowboy game is a worry for us, purely if we're a little bit off our game. 3.5 hour plane ride there, mind you, from Canberra to Townsville direct into the sheds. For we're 3-4 hours on the ground there in Townsville, the game and back home. So it's a big day. We've got to make sure that processes and shifts and systems leading up to the game is spot on. Look, let's dive into the top 10. Cowboys first, obviously. Taumalolo. So obviously one of the best forwards in the world, if not one of the best players in the world, certainly in the top 5. And he's going to hit us with 2 prongs of attack. The initial starting of the game, where he'll probably go 20, 25 minutes into the first half, I think we're all fresh. We could probably accommodate that, hopefully okay. It's the second stint where it's really usually the worry, where he gets a hell of a lot of his meters. So that part after half time will probably come on maybe 10, 15 minutes into the second half. Hopefully by then we've blown the game open. So when he comes on, the impact's not as much. In the first lot of stint that he has, he usually only takes the ball up once, possibly twice. But in the first stint, he acts more as a link man to the halves and to other forwards, more than running himself. The second stint, however, you'll find he'll get the ball at full steam probably twice in the set of 6. So he'll take the rucks up. He will then also act as a link man. So he's going to be very impactful. We need to try where possible to limit his running meters to, if possible, below 250, 200. If we can get his running meters around that level, we're going to go a long way to winning the game, because we've nullified his impact of getting through the line. The Cowboys really rely on Taumalolo to win the ruck, quick play the ball. It's an old cliche, I know, but if they can win that ruck with his runs, they're going to cause us some trouble. So, as I say every week, it's a matter of having confidence in your inside player, either side, to making sure you've only got 2 in the tackle. We don't get sucked in with 3 or 4 trying to get him to ground, and limit his offload as much as possible. Just don't stand back and watch what he wants to do. We've got to get up and get in his face real quick. Cole Felt, I've gone for number 2, probably a very underrated winger, great finisher. I would expect when the Cowboys get inside our quarter or our 25 that they're going to do a hell of a lot of cross-field kicks to Cole Felt. He's a fantastic jumper for the ball. If he doesn't catch it, he usually competes to bat it down to a Cowboys player running through from behind him. So we just got to limit his impact. He's also a very good run out of dummy half. Gets a lot of yardage, similar to our Jordan Rapana type of runs. Gets out of dummy half, scoots away from markers, cuts back in behind the ruck to get some gritty yards for his team. So we've really got to watch Felt. I very rarely have wingers in players other side we've got to watch, but he's certainly one we need to keep an eye on. Jordan McLean, I've gone for number 3. He's just back from an injury spell, so he's going to be fresh. Biggest guy in the field height-wise. So we've got a fairly smallish pack now. We don't have a lot of big rangy guys other than Joe Tarpanay. So McLean will try and go down behind the ruck a hell of a lot and get an offload. He usually this year, he backs back into the defence and gets an offload away. So we just got to make sure, once again, we try and lock that ball up. We don't want to be chasing second or third rucks or second or third play movements each ruck when they get balls away. It's very, very difficult to defend consistently, particularly if we have a 6 again rule. That's really hard on the defensive line. McLean's definitely a worry, as is the hooker Reece Robson. Now, he will feed off Jordan McLean. If he doesn't get the offload, this guy loves having a crack out of dummy half for the try line. 5, 10, 15 metres out. If they win the ruck, he's going to have a crack from the play of the ball. So we really got to be on our mettle with Robson. He will certainly test our defensive line if he can sniff a try come in and we don't get back quick enough onto that try line and go up and meet him. So we just got to be really wary of the impact he could have in attack for the Cowboys. Let's come to us, eh? Number 5, obviously the big one for me this week's John Bateman. So it's not so much he's back, which is awesome news for our second half of the year. It's just what he brings to the team. Enthusiasm, the will, the attitude, the never give up. Those things are so critical for a side to be a great side, and Bateman's going to bring that in spades. I'm not sure how long he's going to last. We've got some really good depth though this week compared to previous weeks with him and Corey Harawira-Naera back into the side for the first time, should I say. But Bateman just adds that element of X factor that we need, particularly now on our right edge. So we've got John back, we've got Curtis Scott back. We don't know how Curtis is going to go mentally. It's just going to be wait and see. But it's certainly with Bateman back, does start to starchen up our defensive capabilities as well as our attack on that right edge. So we've got a really great two-pronged positive this week in attack and defence. I've gone for Ryan Sutton at number 6. I think his impact off the bench the last couple of weeks has been awesome. And very impactful. He's hurting guys when he's running the ball. He's got a big barrel chest so he can really get his nose through the line. His defence has been great, and his link work with our outside plays has also been very, very good. So Ryan Sutton's been a really, really good find, and he looks fit this year as well, which is also a bonus. George Williams, number 7, with John Bateman back. I think you'll see George Williams be a lot more settled this week. He'll be more comfortable going to the right edge, looking for Bateman running a hole or Curtis Scott as a second man. So it just adds a lot more to George Williams' confidence, knowing he's got his English teammate on his outside, mopping up in defence. Bateman and Williams together in defence will be really, really solid for us, I'm thinking, but I'm hoping, obviously. But I think George Williams will be a lot more comfortable this week knowing that Johnny Boy's back in the side. I've gone for Harawira-Naera at number 8. Once again, like Bateman, not match fit, hasn't played this year. Basically, has not had a game this year. So he's been since February, or his last game was whenever that was. So this is going to be a real test of his fitness condition. I'm sure Ricky would not put him in if he wasn't up to speed. But once again, a guy of that ilk and that credibility. The big question is, where will he play when he comes on? He's a left edge. He's a left edge back rower, so I wouldn't expect him to come on and replace John Bateman on the right. I don't expect Elliot Whitehead to be moved. His relationship with Jack Whiten on our left edge is awesome. So it's just going to be weird where he plays Corey, whether he does rest Bateman, leave Hudson Young in the middle at lock, and he just replaces Harawira-Naera on the right edge running in tandem with George Williams. There's nothing wrong with that option, but I haven't seen Corey Harawira-Naera play right side only, left side. But big player, international, great edge runner. It just adds another depth to our side and our attack and our defence, which is great news. Number 9, I've gone for the kicking game. Now, I think our kicking game in this match is going to be critical. The Cows do not have a very experienced back three other than Kyle Felt. Their fullback and winger are not household names at the moment. So we really need to put pressure on them with our kicks, whether they're bombs or dinks to the corner. We really need to get up in their face like we did last week with South, smash them into the corners and really make those guys work out and work hard for their yards out of those corner areas. So we have to have a really solid kicking game, awesome chase, speed at the line and get down and nail them. The Cowboys will buckle if we put them under pressure. No two ways about it. They have not handled pressure very well this year at all, particularly if we start to get on top early in the game. We cannot give the Cowboys a sniff, particularly in their home ground. There are 6 to 12 better side playing up at their home ground that they are away. So we've got to make sure we do not give them a start. And last and not least, I've gone for ambush. This is the game where we could be ambushed if we're mentally not ready to go. Things don't go our way early. We make a couple of errors with the heat or, with the unnatural play of the Townsville weather. It could reek of an ambush. So we just can't give the Cowboys a sniff here. We've got to be methodical. We've got to get in front, make the Cowboys catch us, not the other way around. And we should come out with the 2 points nicely and get back to Canberra for next week against the Panthers. So Raiders fans, that's it for my top 10 this week. Thank you so much for your support on Facebook, on Twitter and the YouTube channel. Please reach out to me with any questions or queries, guys. I love seeing your comments and hopefully I can respond with any answers or questions you might have. But looking forward to tomorrow night's game, guys. Can't wait for it to unfold. Lock the 2 points in, edge close to that top 4. And as always, this is Bourkeys. Bleed green, out.